All I remember was the explosion and everything. Either my mind was moving so fast that my perception of time slowed down, or I was moving so fast that my perception of time slowed down. And in the attack, I suffered a traumatic brain injury, post-concussive syndrome, spinal damage, and I was ultimately sent home, medevaced from the theater of operations, and then the recovery process began. And the first part of the recovery process is denial. I was in denial. How could this happen to me? Why me? Why not someone else? Why today? Why not tomorrow? Why not 10 days from now? And then I began to just fall into a downward spiral, and it was hard. It's been hard. I lost a marriage over it. I lost a lot of my own innocence. The war itself stripped me of my innocence.
Stories like this are all too common when our wounded Marines and soldiers come home from war. Sagemont Church continues its long history of supporting the military and their families by partnering with Combat Marine Outdoors for a dove hunt.
Well, at Sagemont, we love our nation. We realize the cost of freedom. We know our salvation came at a high cost, all of us that are believers, and we know the freedom that we enjoy as a nation and as families and as individuals would not be possible if it wasn't for people like these, men, women that'll stand up for what's right and will put their life on the line and pay the ultimate price. And of course, all of these soldiers have buddies that didn't come back, and they're remembering that even today, and they're being honored as well.
We're at the Sunset Ranch in George West, Texas, and we have something like 50 Marines and Army veterans who have been seriously wounded, many of them by IED explosions, many of them having lost arms and legs, and others with very serious burns. We're here just to express our love to them for their service to our country. And so we have probably 20 to 30 volunteers from the church who've come here just to embrace these men and women and their mates. Their mates have come, and we just want to show them in a very tangible way the love of our Lord. We have done several hunts the last couple of years honoring these men who've sacrificed so much. But this is the first time we've had an opportunity to invite the wives to be with us, the mates. And it's usually difficult because they're staying overnight and the accommodations just aren't that big. But this is a one-day event, and so we've chartered a large bus and we've invited the mates. And that's very important because in so many circumstances, the marriages of the military families are very fragile. They are away for long periods of time, and that creates a stress in the family. And then certainly when you think of post-traumatic stress syndrome, that creates a stress in the family. And when you have a situation like we have here where the men are coming back with, I don't know how else to say it, but missing body parts, amputees, and that creates its own unique stress in the family. And so military families are stressed, and they are particularly stressed in the area of the union of the family, the oneness. And so we've invited them here, and our desire is just to let them see that we value their mates. They've paid an incredible price for the freedom that we have, and to just love on them. And hopefully that in the applause that we are showing their mates, they sense how valuable their mate really is. And so we want these wives primarily to know that we love them, we love their mates, and we are glad that they could be with us, and we want them to see and sense how by and large America feels towards the sacrifice of their husbands.
Well, every one of us have been awed by just being around these guys because they've given everything that we can enjoy our freedom. And to be able to honor them and to love on them is so very, very special. There's not a person here that's not excited beyond words. And I know that when they go away from here, they're going to feel special because they are special.
This is a phenomenal weekend. Master Guns and I have been working on this for a long time with Pastor Chuck to get our warriors, soldiers and Marines and sailors out of that hospital in one big group gathering. And I like to use the verbiage that Pastor Chuck used, that they can come and let your your members show their love for these kids and just kind of get a one-on-one relationship this weekend. And we're going to bird hunt later. We're going to hear some banjo picking from Buddy. Looking forward to that. It's just going to be a great day, and this is going to be an awesome outing for these kids, and hopefully stories that they can take back to the barracks and share with others, not just about their experience here, but about upcoming hunts that we provide at Combat Marine Outdoors. There are so many great success stories at Combat Marine Outdoors. We have seen it over and over again, the healing process that takes place when you get them out, whether it be in a blind, when we're talking to them, or whether it's around the fire pits, where we have seen the rehabilitating effects, not just for our wounded, but for you and for me. And it's the stories that everybody takes back away that it's blessing like no other.
It was much more than that. It was a family, a new family that I was welcomed to, a new way of finding perspective in life after such a hard hit force of reality. Not only were there individuals that follow the principles of God, but individuals that genuinely loved helping a fellow man, and that helped me start to heal.
Oh, right now I'm just volunteering. I escort trips. I take guys on a lot of the other trips that rustier master guns can't do because they're very busy.
When we first met Corporal Chris Bride 2 years ago, he was facing the possibility of losing one of his legs.
My left leg, my left and my right were both messed up. My right's gotten a lot better, but the left, it just stopped getting better, and it started getting worse. So I decided to go with an amputation.
That's a big choice.
Yeah, at this point, I really want it. I'm tired of all the work and not getting any results. So.
With that amputation now a reality,
He still had the struggles through the next several months, but with every outing, he got better and he got better. But what we saw in him is he wasn't just going on hunts. He was making sure that everybody before him fired the first shot or got their animal before he ever went out and even thought about taking an animal himself. Sometimes he went out and he didn't even shoot. He wanted to make sure the other guys, his brothers in arms, got to shoot the animal first. And we watched him progress up, and he got better, and then all of a sudden we started Master Guns and said, we're gonna make him an intern. And then it led to him being an escort. Then it led to him being a spokesman.
You know, even while I was in, I was volunteering for him when I could, when I wasn't doing appointments. And I just decided to keep doing it as long as they want me to keep working with them. If it wasn't a good organization, I wouldn't do it, you know. I like to see someone with a similar issue as me overcome it or get on the road to overcoming it. So, and I think being in that same kind of position, I'm someone who can kind of maybe help them a little bit. I don't know if I can, but I want to try because I know what it's like.
I saw a changed life that blew me away. Here is a kid who not only is helping others, but he's got that smile back. And I remember vividly the first day I met him when I walked in that annex and asked him, son, you want to go hunt? And he goes, no, I don't want to shoot anything or anybody again. I said, all right. I said, you just like to get out? He said, oh yeah. And he said, well, I said, let's just get out and sit around a fire pit then. And from that moment on, I watched his attitude get better and better.
What we have done as Combat Marine Outdoors is we try to show these young men that we need to deal with those nightmares. We need to deal with those memories. And the way of dealing with them is to have people like Sagemont Church and the community, especially the Mann family here at the Sunset Ranch. Bring them out to the outdoors. Look at this green grass in the middle of the fall here in Texas. Listen to the wind blow through our faces. Go out there, hunt some dove, go out there, hunt some deer, or don't even hunt. Just go out there and rest.